How to unlock the winning frequency. Aren't you tired of all these spiritual motherfuckers, those spiritual gurus telling you, you need to elevate your frequency, you need to have the winning frequency, but they don't tell you exactly how. Everybody understands that we are energy, vibration, and frequency. Like Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, then you need to think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. That's cool and all, but how the fuck do you actually elevate your energy, your vibration, and frequency? This is how you're going to do that today. We're going to teach you exactly how you're going to be able to elevate your frequency, but most importantly, being aware of the mechanism of increasing and elevating your frequency. Because if you don't understand the why behind things, you're forever going to stay stuck. Let's get straight into it. Yeah, by the way, prosperity, better health, abundance in terms of partners. So you can choose and not live in a scarcity world where every single action that you take seems to be not enough. Let's reverse engineer what a frequency is. First and foremost, you need to understand the mechanism which creates your frequency. Your frequency is just a vibration that is consistent on a long term, on the long period of time. This is a vibration, this is a frequency, okay? Now, you may ask me, okay, well, that's cool and all, but what actually creates a vibration? Well, the largest shareholder of your vibration is actually your emotion, the heart, okay? The heart is the largest shareholder that determines your vibration. And the problem is most people are living in their reptilian brain, living in a stressful survival mode, and which is why they will never attract great things and never be able to elevate your frequency. Now you may ask me, okay, Hugo, that's cool and all, but what actually creates your emotions? Well, I thought you would never ask. It's your thoughts plus beliefs. Let me give you an example. If you think that the world is against you, the world is a bad place, the world is filled with war, then obviously you're going to constantly live in survival mode. I'm going to tell you, this comes from a guy that believed deeply in the nihilistic narrative, aka we are an advanced chimpanzee race on a spinning rock. And this is just by chance, this is just by luck. I'm telling you, my main thoughts and beliefs created constant anxiety in my life, because I was like, maybe one asteroid is going to come to the earth and is going to blow up the earth at any time, any moment. Maybe I'm gonna get fucked over by a bus if I cross over the road. And all of this created anxiety, creating a ripple effect. So those were the nihilistic thought pattern. I don't know how you write it in English, okay? Fuck off. So nihilistic, this created anxiety, constant anxiety, which then obviously the vibration was one of anxiety, stress, and it created on a long period of time events that made me think that I was right. Events that were stressful and attracted bad shits, basically, okay? This comes from a guy. For those of you who have been following me for a long time on my different brands, you know how nihilistic I was. I was deep into numbing my pain and my anxiety and my constant mind chatter with alcohol, drugs, women, parties, etc., living the hedonistic life, which is not the solution, by the way. So obviously, many of you may relate, when you have bad thoughts and bad belief system, nihilistic, you have anxiety, which creates therefore your emotions, your vibration, and your frequency. So the thing is this. Most people live in survival mode, like I just described, because they've been programmed by society. From 0 to 7 years old, your subconscious mind is wide open, and your loser parents, your broke teachers, and your miserable friends are constantly feeding your subconscious mind with a bad programming. This is what we call the societal programming, the mass programming. Where is the masses? Where is the 99%? Right? When you look at the masses, 99% of the masses, well, what are their results? Mediocre. That's why it's called the masses for a fucking reason, right? So what we need to do is then obviously change our programming. The thoughts and beliefs that creates your emotion, that creates your vibration, that creates your frequency is mainly subconscious, okay? It's mainly, your thoughts and beliefs are mainly created by your subconscious programming. And the problem is what? Or the problem or the positive aspect is that your subconscious programming determines 95% of your life, but mostly importantly of how you think, okay? Now, what's important to understand is that on average, you have 60K thoughts per day. 60 fucking K thoughts. Just imagine, 95% of 60K, 60,000 thoughts per day, it's 57,000 thoughts. So just imagine, if you have a bad subconscious reprogramming by the loser friends, teachers, parents, whatever the fuck there is, you have 60,000 thoughts per day. 95% of 60,000 is 57K negative thoughts per day. How the fuck do you want to have a good vibration and a high frequency and attract better things in your life if you're constantly self-sabotaging yourself? Your subconscious is literally producing at least 57K thoughts that are negative. So you see how it's so fucking important for you to be aware of this. We agree that we need to reprogram this, right? This is the main focus. This is your target, okay? This is your target, okay? The subconscious is your target. You need to reprogram this. And by the way, remember, why is this part of the equation or the reverse engineer, this one. Why is this part so important? The vibration or the emotion of the thoughts? Well, simply because you are not just a mere entity of flesh. You are an electromagnetic field, a walking energy field. This is you. You have mainly two electromagnetic centers or centers of energy. You have the brain, which sends an electric signal, okay? Electric signal. And then you have the heart, which is basically retrieving the magnetic pulse, which is why we say electromagnetic field, because the electric part is the brain, the magnetic part is the heart. And the heart is the organ of the soul, magnetic pulse. The heart is the organ of the soul. The heart is actually, and this is what scientists were puzzled for years, the heart is actually the first organ that comes before the brain. And now materialist science would say, but it doesn't make sense because the brain is the command operator and the command center of the body. No, it isn't. That's the thing. You first have a spiritual organ to be able to attract the soul, because you are a soul. You're not just a fucking entity of flesh, okay? You're not an advanced chimpanzee. Don't have the nihilistic point of view that I had, okay? Elevating spirituality and you'll see prosperity-wise, health-wise, and in every single aspect you'll start to attract more prosperity. By the way, without spiritual health, there won't be full, excellent physical health, okay? So, electric signal by your brain, right? And then the magnetic pulse from your heart. And this is how you interact with the universe, okay? This is why it's so important, because if your thoughts are aligned and your way of thinking is aligned, then it creates obviously better emotions. And all of this creates a vibration, which is literally sending out an order to the universe. On a long period of time, you're consistent with the order, so you're able to wait for the waiter, the universal waiter, to come back to you and bring you results in physical reality, okay? Now, for you to even hone down even more all these concepts, I want you, by the way, if you're not taking notes, what the fuck are you doing? Click off this video, okay? This is not just for entertainment. If you want to watch some cat videos or you're looking for entertainments, go on TikTok. Don't come here on YouTube, on this YouTube channel. By the way, congrats, Zaidi. Again, at least some people are taking notes in the comments, and that's phenomenal. Or at least taking notes and applying and watching these videos over and over again. Zaidi, he watched the how to make the universe skyrocket your wealth. He watched it 5 times, and right after the 5th time, he attracted immediately 2 big clients. And now he's changing his life, not only prosperity-wise, not only wealth-wise, not only monetary-wise, but also in every single aspect. So I'm always telling you this, but all of these videos are the conglomerate of 9 years of help and obsession on personal development, neuroscience, quantum physics, metaphysics, spirituality, the God potential, the study of NDEs, and overall the esoteric knowledge of the universe that are the true Pareto lever for you to see success in every single aspect. So watch these videos over and over again. They're not meant to be just like for you to pass time. They're literally every single YouTube video on this channel are meant to be mini guides for you to constantly reprogram your subconscious mind and see success in every single aspect of your life. Cool. Let me clean this board and then I'll give you the 3 badass drawings that I want you to absolutely ingrain in your mind. We're gonna first understand the conscious work that you need to be aware of. The conscious work that you need to be aware of, okay? So, you need to understand, your thoughts create your emotions, okay? Because if, for instance, let's say you think of something very negative. You're very stressed about an outcome, or you think of somebody is trying to kill you all the time. You're obviously going to be stressed, right? But if you think constantly about the positive future that you're attracting, then obviously you feel serene, at ease, at peace, okay? So your thoughts creates your emotions on a long period of time, which creates your vibration. You've got that, right? And the vibration is literally this, but this on the long period of time creates a frequency, right? The consistent vibration creates a frequency. But the most important part is that the frequency over time, what is happening is it creates and it sculpts your identity. And the identity obviously determines the actions that you'll take, because how you see yourself is going to determine the actions that you take. If you see yourself as a gym goer, if you see yourself as an abundant person, then you'll not be afraid of asking to be paid for your services. For instance, if you see yourself as a millionaire, then asking for 2K for a deal, it doesn't seem far-fetched. It's actually like 2K is nothing if you see yourself as a millionaire, for instance, right? Some people are literally fucking stressed about asking money for their hard-earned offers and products that they've spent years spending on. But because they have the wrong identity, they're constantly self-sabotaging them. Even though their product and services are worth more than 10K, they're afraid of selling it for half the price. Okay, so your identity determines your actions, and your actions determines obviously the results that you see in life. Okay, so this is your results basically, right? This is, let's say, your actions. This is a bicep. Okay, your identity is obviously you and your aura, your electromagnetic field. This is the frequency, this is the vibration. Your emotions, well, for the simplicity's sake, we're going to say the magnetic pulse, so it's going to be like a magnet, okay? And then your thoughts are basically the signal that you send out to the universe, right? So this goes like this and this like this. Cool. Extremely important to understand as well, you need to know that everything in this universe is energy, vibration, and frequency. All of this thing is just the same energy at different rate of vibration. A thought and the corresponding result is the same energy, just different rate of vibration. Rate of vibration, okay? ROV, rate of vibration. Here, the vibration are very subtle, very high. High, denser, 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 much denser, right? This is why this is the 5D, the 4D, the 3D, and the results. So you need to realize, please write it down. The results that you have in life are the same energy of the thoughts that you put into the universe. It's the same energy, just different rate of vibration. That's it. Which means what? Which means if you want a different result, you want a different energy, you need to input the corresponding thought energy and densify it into a result using this conscious work. Now, the second graph that I want you to write is the subconscious process that is happening over time retroactively. Okay, so identity. Now that you have a new identity, this naturally also redetermines your belief systems. Okay, your belief system, which naturally redetermines your emotions, because again, as you've understood, beliefs and thoughts determines your emotions, which naturally determines your actions, which naturally determines your results in life. Okay, so here you see how the conscious work that you're doing has a positive impact on the subconscious process that is happening every single instant of every single day in your brain. Okay? That's the subconscious process. Your identity determines your belief system. Your belief system determines your emotions determines your actions, and therefore your result. But you see how basically this is this part, right? Or this part. And then actions. But the thing is this has a retro impact. The fact that you're able to control your thoughts and therefore your emotions in this manner, it has a direct impact on the conscious identity that you're creating. And then over time, your identity, as it becomes unconscious, when you change your identity, naturally you attract the right belief systems, you attract the right emotion, the right action, the right results. Now the thing is this. The most important part here, obviously, as you've understood, is the thoughts and the identity. But what do they all have in common, these two things? The identity and the thoughts, well, 95% is comprised of subconscious processes. Okay, so it always comes down to the subconscious, which is why one of the first things that I do with my client is we reprogram the subconscious mind, because I can give you all the opportunities in the world. I can give you literally like $50 million opportunities on the table. If you don't have the right level of consciousness to handle that, you will always come back to your old level of identity. Okay, your old level of consciousness, which is what we often say, give $1 million opportunity to a middle level of consciousness and they will find a way to revert back to their brokenness. That's why, because we can give you results if they're not aligned with your identity. Remember, constantly what you're doing is you're manifesting and you're producing a certain energy on the rate of vibration. So let's say, for instance, your results currently in life is just for the sake of arbitrary numbers, let's say the results that you have because you got lucky or you got an opportunity is 500. Okay, that's the result that you get in life. But the problem is your level currently, your level of identity right now is at the thought is like 100. So obviously over time, what you create 100, 100, 100, and you come back to 100. And the thing is this. Physical reality will always match your identity, okay? Because another drawing, if you want to really truly understand, you're not just an entity of flesh. You are a multi-dimensional individual, okay? So you exist on multiple planes. You exist on the spiritual plane, right? This is kind of like, this is the silver cord. By the way, shout out Anona, one of my clients. She had 2 near-death experiences, okay? And she said that everything that I'm telling you here on these videos is absolutely correct. All these multidimensional individual parallel lives, past lives. So she has lived firsthand all of that, and that's why she decided to work with me, because she felt like I was the only one speaking truth on this YouTube channel. Not to flatter my ego, but it's just for you guys to know this is the truth, okay? So you exist on the spiritual plane. Obviously, there's more than 6 dimensions, right? It's like 6D or infinite D if you want. But basically, this represents kind of like your link with source, the God force. Then you exist on the mental plane, 5D, right? This is the mental plane. Then you exist on the emotional plane, okay, 4D. Yeah, because here, this is your heart, this is your brain, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then obviously you exist on the 3D plane because you have a material body and you're able to take action physically. But you see, the thing is this. You need to understand that you are a multidimensional individual and you only can have the result that you want with an alignment. Right? And this is what we are teaching you here. If you want a certain manifestation or a certain materialization of one energy, well, then you need to choose the right energy, right? Because it all starts with the thoughts. The result that you have in life is just a densified thought on a long period of time. So then we need to change our thoughts, which has a retro impact on your identity, which is 95% subconscious. And then, okay, I get it, Hugo, but how do you actually change your subconscious? Calm down, you're gonna get the sauce. It all starts with the mental plane. Obviously the 6D, your spiritual plane, is also very much important, but for the sake of the simplicity of this video, because this is kind of like infinite, we're going to focus mainly on the causal plane. Okay, the causal plane is the mental plane. So write it down. Causal plane equals mental plane. Okay, the causal plane equals the mental plane. So if we change the mental plane, or we reprogram the mental plane, aka the subconscious mind, then naturally you're going to change your 4D and your 3D. The 3D, which is the prosperity that you're trying to get. Cool. And the beautiful thing is that once you do that and you align yourself, this has a retro impact on the 6D as well, and you become more spiritual. Which is why I love how science, at first, when you focus on science, you become very much materialist, and sometimes you even become an atheist. But the problem is that the beautiful thing is that the highest level of the mental plane, the highest level of science, for human terms, right, you become spiritual. This is why the quantum physicists that gained the prize in 1932, if I'm not mistaken, Werner Heisenberg, quantum physicist, said, at the first gulp of the glass of natural science, one may become an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for you. And that's also why Louis Pasteur, founder of microbiology, said, a bit of science puts you away from God, a lot of science gets you back to him, right? And same thing, when I spoke about the nihilistic part, Einstein said the best decision that you can ever take is decide if you live in a friendly universe or an unfriendly universe, because that's going to determine your thoughts, your belief system, your emotions, and therefore your actions. If you believe you're just an advanced chimpanzee on a spinning rock, right? And that at any point, like I was, at any point in time, an asteroid can crush the Earth and it's no point of building a relationship, building a business, building wealth or whatever, then obviously you're going to take the hedonistic actions because you're like anxious of death. And then when you follow my video, you understand that actually death is only a transition. There's much more to the afterlife because you revert back to your true self. Either way, that's a topic for another video, or you can watch all my other videos where I speak about this. Cool. So for us to, as you've understood, elevate our frequency and enter our winning frequency, we need to first make sure that our subconscious mind is on point. And this is why it's the first step that I give all my clients. No matter you elevating your frequency, doing all the good things to elevate your frequency, if you have a bad identity and a bad subconscious, you're always going to revert back to the same energy that you're putting out into the universe subconsciously. Okay? So really and truly, changing or unlocking your winning frequency is really unlocking the winning subconscious. Okay? Subconscious. Cool. This is the sauce. I know, like I write like a fucking doctor, but you understand the point, right? It's important for you to take notes. This is literally the sauce that I'm giving my clients for them to recalibrate their subconscious mind at the first degree, at the first level. What we're gonna do, you're gonna create two columns. Number one here is going to be listing down the current signs, the current physical signs in your life. Physical signs of your reality. Okay? Current physical signs of your reality, and then the desired physical signs of your reality. Okay. I know I look like I'm under cocaine. Don't worry, I'm not. Desired physical signs of your reality. Cool. So then what you're going to do is you're going to divide this into three categories. Okay? The dollar sign, the health, and then the relationship aspect of things, right? So for the simplicity's sake, this is going to be a girl because I know mainly my audience right now watching me is mostly male. Cool, so you have three categories here. So let's say, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Obviously you do the exercise at your home with your own physical signs, but just for the simplicity's sake of this video, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say for instance here, we're gonna type in our net worth and the revenue that you have per month, right? So let's say for instance, your net worth is only 250K, let's say, right? 250K net worth plus you're making 50K per month take home profit, okay? That's your current physical sign. In terms of health, let's say for instance, you're at 180 pounds jacked and shredded. Yeah, by the way, guys, obviously, as you've understood, all this stuff, neuroscience, quantum physics, metaphysics, God potential, all of this, I want you to apply this in every single aspect of your life. Yes, of course, the main focus on this channel is for you to have more prosperity and make money. But the thing is this, you need to understand that because everything is holographic in this universe, this will have a reverse engineering impact on your health. The health will have a reverse engineering impact on your money, and the money will have a reverse engineer on the health, and the money will have a reverse engineer on the relationship as well. So everything is linked in this universe, right? Quantum entanglement in quantum mechanics has proven that everything is linked on the subatomic plane. Spirituality with the law of oneness has proven that everything is linked on the spiritual plane. So basically you are one with everything, you are one with everyone, okay? But why is this so important to understand? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? Holographism of the universe. If you improve this area of your life, you'll naturally start to have this area of your life that improves as well. If you're better to your wife or your girl, whatever it is, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel more at ease with yourself. So therefore your spiritual health is going to be better. Your spiritual health and your aura is going to be better. Therefore you're gonna attract more money, more opportunities, because people are gonna respect you more, gonna feel that you're true to yourself. So all of this is intertwined. This is why the entire game is to become a multi-dimensional winning individual. Don't be like all these motherfucking gurus on the internet being super unidimensional. I'm sick and tired, I'm sorry, but I'm sick and tired of seeing multimillionaires that are fat fucks and look ugly as shit. And when I'm saying ugly as shit, I'm talking like they don't work on their potential, on their fullest potential. That's why I'm pissed. Because I love everybody. But the thing is this, they don't even realize their fullest potential because they have some limiting beliefs. They may not have a limiting belief when it comes to money, but they have some limiting beliefs when it comes to their physique. Oh, it's my genetics and stuff like that. Fuck off. You have destroyed your limiting beliefs about money. You can do the same thing with your health. So I'm sick and tired of seeing these unidimensional motherfuckers like those fat millionaires or those broke gym dudes or those... or weird gym dudes or broke guys, Casanovas, right? You need to be all. You need to be multi-dimensional winning individual, okay? And this is done with the alignment on all the planes. Cool. Coming back to our current physical sign and me stopping with my rants. So, in terms of the girls, let's say you're a virgin or you don't have any girls, okay? So right now you have 0, 9 out of 10 stunning acid girlfriends, okay? Why I'm saying acid girlfriends, don't come at me feminist and stuff like that, it's just that for a true relationship and for you to feel secure in the relationship, you need to be an asset to the person and the person needs to be an asset to you. That's the only way you're going to start to build something on the long term. Otherwise, you're going to just use them for their body. So assets. Aim to have assets in your life, whether it's your friends, your family, your girls, or your girl, whatever it is. So this is your current reality. Now, what is your desired reality? Okay. Obviously here you change the numbers, you change the stuff depending on you. Let's say for instance, your current reality, your desired reality is to have 1M in terms of net worth, plus 250K per month, okay? Cool. You need to be aware of all of those objectives because again, if you don't know where you want to go, right? What is the physical sign, the physical materialization of the subtle plane of energy, then you don't know what type of energy you need to input into the universe, right? You reverse engineer that. First, we determine what are the physical signs that we want, and then from there on out, with the 7 steps of materialization that I shared here, we reverse engineer what type of thoughts and what type of identity and subconscious reprogramming we need to have to be able to densify that energy, densify the rate of vibration to be able to have those physical signs in physical reality. Cool. Let's say, for instance, here you want to be 200 pounds. I know, I write like a doctor today. Pounds jacked and shredded, okay? Jacked and shredded. Naturally, huh? I'm not speaking about taking drugs and stuff like that, by the way, because you don't want to mess up your testosterone, you don't want to mess up your hormones, and you don't want to be infertile, right? What's the point of being a man if you're infertile? There's no point. And let's say, for instance, you want to have 1 9 out of 10 acid girlfriend, right? Cool. Now that we are aware, right? As I always say, the more aware you are of reality, the more control you have over reality. Now that we are more aware of what we want to get to, right? This is basically our objective. And this is the current state of things, okay? From there on out, because you know that your belief systems create your reality, remember the 7 steps of materialization, well, what you're going to need to do then is create under this, or on another piece of paper, you're going to have to create what are the beliefs that got you here and what are the beliefs that will get you there. You're going to write beliefs explaining your current sign, current physical sign in your reality, physical signs, okay? Here. And then here, beliefs creating desired signs, because it's just signs, guys, desired signs. It's just physical signs. Most people value themselves based on their physical signs in life, but really and truly it's about who you become. As Jim Rohn said, the true value of life is not, I'm paraphrasing and I'm not sure of the quote, so I'll put it in post editing, but the true value of life is not what you get, is who you become. And who you become determines what you get. So let's get back into this. Here, I want you to list down all the beliefs the current beliefs that have explained the current physical sign in your reality. So for instance, here it would be, money is hard. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples of my clients. Money is hard. If I make more money, I'll have more problems. If I make more money, I'll have less time and less freedom because I have too many clients. If I make more money than my family, they'll be envious of me. They'll be jealous of me. If I make more money than my friends, they'll be jealous and I'll have less friends. All of these limiting beliefs, I need you to write them down. After this video, you need to do this exercise because this is going to give you clarity on what is preventing you from getting to the next level. This is the subconscious, what your current subconscious mind is thinking. All those beliefs for money, all the limiting beliefs about your health. It's impossible to be 200 pounds without taking steroids. I'm genetically big boned. Fuck off. I'm overweight because I'm overweight because what was the what was the belief that one guy had? I'm overweight because then people don't see me coming.
If I do some sneaky stuff, they will be like, no.
Yeah.
It's not it.
So they'll underestimate me. I'm overweight because then people can underestimate me and I can snake them. What the fuck is this, right? But either way, note down all the fucking limiting beliefs. Same thing with girls. All girls or partners. All women are hoes. All men are trash. Whatever it is, you note it down because, again, the universe is a fucking mirror. Please, 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 for the love of God, understand this. This is a mirror, by the way. The universe is a mirror. It will reflect your innermost convictions. Okay? Universe reflects your innermost convictions. Another way of saying this, which has been proven in quantum mechanics, is your identity creates your reality. Okay? Same thing for neuroscience. Neuroscience with the placebo effect. Your beliefs create your reality. If you believe you're going to be healthy, then you become healthy. That's the placebo effect. Same thing in spirituality, the law of assumption. The more you assume something or you expect something to happen, the more it happens. This is identity creates reality. Same thing with the philosophy of mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. How you think, aka how you perceive yourself, your self-concept creates who you are and your reality around you. Everything is identity equals reality. So the universe is a mirror, literally. It reflects your innermost convictions. So you need to write down all the beliefs that you have explaining current physical signs, okay? Again, I don't take coke. It's just like, it itches. Cool. And now, once you've done that, some of you it may feel a bit uncomfortable. You may feel, I'm actually more of a loser than I thought. I actually have a lot of limiting beliefs. But that's the point. You cannot know where you want to go if you don't know on the map where you are, right? If you take a map and you're navigating your boat, let's say you want to go to the port of Miami, for instance, right? You want to come to Miami with boat. Well, if you don't know where you are, you won't be able to get to the destination, right? Because where you are matters as much as where you want to go, okay? Even more than that. So now that we know where our subconscious mind lies with all the limiting beliefs, what you're going to do then now is you're going to list all the beliefs that are linked to the desired signs. How would somebody think? How would somebody be who is, for instance, at $1 million a month or $250K per month or $1 million net worth, a millionaire, think, right? All the limiting beliefs, all the beliefs, right? Money is abundant. Money is easy to make. People pray to speak to me. People pray to buy my product. Millions of people are waiting in line to buy my product. That's how you need to think for the prosperity aspect of the things. Same thing with your health, right? How would a person that already has the desired signs think? 200 pounds jacked and shredded, right? How would they think? They wouldn't be like, oh no, it's impossible to achieve. No, they have that. Okay, so how would they think? Same thing. It's easy to have a jacked and shredded body. It's easy to be muscular. It's easy to be big, and this creates more confidence. I'm feeling confident as well. This has a impact on my confidence. Same thing with the girls, right? If you have an abundance of girls, if you have one beautiful girlfriend that is an asset, you would say like, okay, it's normal to have healthy relationship. It's normal to have a woman that elevates me. It's normal, right? All of this, and you need to write down all of these beliefs for all of these areas of your life. By the way, I want you to do this for each one of those until you don't have any ideas anymore, okay? So if you need to take 5 pages for this one, 5 pages for this one, and 5 pages for this one, do it. It's a life-changing exercise if you do it correctly. Now, what I want you to do, all this part where you have all your new beliefs linked to your desired goals. What you're gonna do, morning and night. Please, for the love of God, do this. Morning and night for 30 days. You're going to repeat them in front of the mirror. You're going to talk to yourself. 30 days, okay? 30 days, morning and night. Morning when you wake up, you say those beliefs. I am this, I have this, I think making money is normal, I think being 200 pounds is normal, my girlfriend loves me, or women love me, whatever it is. You do this for 30 days. But most importantly, I want you, before doing this for 30 days, do it for 7 days straight once you've done this exercise, and come back to me in the comments and let me know how you feel, and let me know what beautiful things you've attracted in your life. I'm telling you, if you do that for 7 days, watching this video over and over again and doing these beliefs, creating these beliefs of desired sign, doing morning and night, I'm telling you, after 7 days, you're already going to start a drastic shift, because that you have reprogrammed 14 times your subconscious mind consciously. Okay? You're going to start to see different types of results, you're going to feel better, and you're going to start to attract bigger opportunities. So once you do that, you come back to me in 7 days, you let me know how awesome it feels, you let me know how the beautiful opportunities that you've attracted, the beautiful, stunning models you've attracted, the beautiful, money opportunities that you've attracted, the new financial level that you've attracted, all of this. You come back to me and you tell me, because I'm interested in that, guys. Like, this is my passion. I don't need to do all of this. I do that by pure passion, because I absolutely love sharing my knowledge and helping you guys succeed and excel in every single aspect. Cool. But remember, the most important part, what you need to do to unlock the winning frequency is, you remember, right? You need to align. Why do you think that the spiritual community tells you to align? Alignment is the most important part. What does it actually mean to align? It means align your dimensions of existence. You see, you're not just, again, an entity of flesh. You're much more than that. You are a multi-dimensional being in your incarnation on earth. You're much more than just a multi-dimensional being. You're an infinite being. But on this earth, you are existing on the 6D with your aura and your connection to source. You exist on the mental plane with your electric central that sends out electric signals. You exist on the emotional plane, 4D plane, with the magnetic pulse of your heart. And then you exist on the physical plane with your body and your actions. But you need absolutely an alignment on all these 3 planes. And if you have the right alignment, where you have the right spirituality, the right mental plane, the right emotional plane, this will inevitably condense itself into the right physical dimensions. This is truly how you unlock the winning frequency for you to attract the winning reality. Love you guys. See you soon.